Okay, so this video is just me playing all 18, well 17 because I don't have one, Mdisks. I do not have the Pearl game disc because I don't have all 88 pearls because the Looter's Caverns are not fun. Anyway, so I have 17 of them and I was going to play them all. So if there's a disc that you want to see or if you want to watch again or something like that, you can do that here. Check the description for a little more information. There's also a link to a Google workbook that has them all listed out, including where to get them from and all that other good stuff. So obviously we're going to skip the save disk file, but the Mr. de Castellac disk file comes from the Lighthouse in Page's workshop, and this is disk number 2.
Hello, miss. I've been commissioned by Mr. de Castellac. This war is a catastrophe for us all. Mr. de Castellac would like to entrust a very delicate mission to you. If you accept, please make your way as soon as possible to the ancient mine on Black Isle located on the other side of town. Having completely understood the enormous risks involved, Mr. de Castellac plans to reward you generously. See you soon.
Pearl and the Currents. You get this one in the Iris headquarters on the side table.
The Alpha sections have deceived us. Since the beginning of the war, they have been controlled by the Doms and profit from the general chaos to kidnap innocent people. Thanks to Double H, we now know where the victims are taken to on Hillis. 1. The Neutrophils factory. 2. The old slaughterhouse in the shuttles. 3. The moon in a cargo cruiser. We must put an end to this nightmare. Every proof we can find relating to this conspiracy will bring us more and more support from the people. A general uprising would allow us to overthrow the Alpha sections and save thousands of innocent lives. If the revolt spreads, we may be able to end this war. But we need photographic evidence to find out exactly what's going on at the factory. Photos of the victims. Photos of the Alpha sections without their helmets on to know who they really are. That's where you come in, Jade. You take over Double H's mission. Here's his last report.
Ship's log, Double H.
1923. I am in the Forbidden Zone. 1930. I can see the shuttles coming and going from the upper platform. 2003. I have succeeded in penetrating into the factory. 2050. I'm exhausted. I must have swam almost 2 miles. 2110. I'm inside. That's it. I can see the black cases. A noise. Hey, what the?
Apparently, they've trained a Reaper. The presence of this animal along with the Sigma rays are the proof of the presence of a Spirit Eater. These are his last shots. We've had nothing else for the last 4 days. Radio silence. Double H was our best reporter. He's done a lot for us. Thanks to him, the Iris Network was able to get in contact with the governor of Hillis. The governor is radically opposed to the Alpha sections and their methods, but she must not be found out. She's willing to help us if, on our side, we let the truth be known, and if more and more Hillyans trust the Iris Network. If you find a door like this one, photograph it and send the picture to the governor. Her team of experts will try to find the code. We're counting on you, Jade. Be careful. Han.
Okay, for Jade, this is given to you in a cutscene during the factory chapter, so you can't miss it.
Jade, you inherited generosity and courage from your parents. You know, I think about them a lot. We were very close friends. 20 years ago, we were forced to separate because we were all having some major problems with the authorities. Your parents put you under my care to save your life. We came to Hillis. Back then, it was a peaceful planet. I had hoped to raise you there safely. But the conflict spread. Now, you must know something. If I was able to get here, it was thanks to the Beluga, the spaceship that I designed and built with your father. It still exists, but I haven't exactly finished getting it back in top shape. You'll find the checkup report on my desk. The Beluga is at our place. You have to enter a code into each one of the consoles to open the secret hiding place. I can't say any more on this M-Disk about it, but I hope this information will be useful to you if, one day, you have to use the Beluga. No matter what happens, good luck, Jade. Uncle Page.
Okay, surveillance camera is disc number 5. You get this in the Neutrophils vat in the factory. Neutrophils vat area in the factory. It is in the machine next to the locker where you find Page's jet boots. It's the room with all the green bugs. The machine it's in is right there in the center. You can sort of see the machine it's in. It's the one the guard's standing right next to.
Murderers! Torturers! Affirmative. Jumpsuit and shoes. Everything's in the locker.
Okay, the Hillyan Army Databank is in the computer room, which is off of the Neutrophils vat room where the surveillance camera is. So 5 and 6 are 2 rooms next to each other. And I'm not going to read this out loud because there's like a lot of stuff, but I will stay on each screen long enough so that you can hit pause and read the details for each of the enemies. Okay, Beluga Checkup is number 7. You can get this in the Beluga hidden room in the lighthouse, and it's on his desk. Okay, depth stabilizer's okay. Octo combustion's okay. Flight stabilizer's missing. Gonna have to install the one I already got, and then try to remember to pick up another one from those crooks at Mama Go's garage. Auto guidance to the hovercraft, okay. Hyper sustenance, sorting board, okay. Parallelism nozzles, okay. Stellar motor missing. Only needed for spaceflight. Gotta buy one from those cons at Mama Go's. Okay, animal species is disc number 8. You get this when you complete the 7 rolls of film. It's 56 animals completely, and all 56 animals are listed in the Google workbook, the link of which is in the description if you want to see them. So you can use the D-pad to select one and then go see your photo. Nope, not the one I wanted. There we go. Some of these pictures are really bad. Okay, Iris 511. This is disc number 9 and can be found in the back room of Mingzu's.
Iris 511. A new wave of kidnappings in the pedestrian district. Reporter Double H. The Doms have once again struck hard at the Hillyan population. Another 850 people have been reported missing since last week. The so-called protection given by the Alpha sections against the Dom's attacks is derisory at best.
Okay, Iris 512 is right next to Iris 511 in Mingzu's back room.
Iris 512. Hill is showered with Dom's meteors. Reporter Double H. The canals, the Mamago garage, and the lighthouse shelter suffered a violent attack from the Doms yesterday. The protective shields were not able to stop the Dom's meteors. The Alpha sections did not arrive on the scene until after the alert. The Alpha sections are incapable of assuring the protection of Hillis.
Okay, Iris 513 is disc number 11. Is also found in the back room of Mingzu's, but it is only available after the factory chapter.
Iris 513. Human traffic at the Neutrophils factory. Reporters Double H and Shawnee. According to the Alpha sections, the shuttles between the factory and the slaughterhouse ensure the provisioning of our soldiers. But our reporters have successfully infiltrated these places. The factory is actually a cover for human traffic. Hundreds of victims are sent there daily under the surveillance of the Alpha sections. The Alpha sections themselves are controlled by the Doms. The Alpha sections are traitors under the pay of the Doms.
Okay, Iris 514 is also available in Mingzu's back room, but is only available after you finish the slaughterhouse chapter. It's disc 12.
Iris 514. The people of Hillis kidnapped by the Alpha sections. A report from our special correspondent, Shawnee. We now know even more about the extensive kidnappings that have been striking the Hillyan population. The victims are sent through the old slaughterhouses under the supervision of the Alpha sections. Once there, they are sealed into Dom sarcophaguses, then shipped to the moon. The Alpha sections and the Doms are annihilating the population of Hillis.
Okay, Disc 13 is the disc game. Once you beat Francis at the pellet game enough to win both of his pearls, he ultimately has 2. He will then bet you again for the code to the locker that's right next to the pellet room. Once you get that code and open up the locker, that has this Mdisk in it. And this allows you to play Francis's favorite game against the computer whenever you want. So if you wanted to.
Go!
Which I do not. But that's that one. Okay, so disc 14 is the Pearl game, which I don't have. It's the only M-Disc that I don't have, and it's because I can't beat the Looter Caverns yet. But maybe one day. Anyway, disc 15 is about Knox. This is in the Beluga hidden room in the locked locker that you unlock with the rusty knife that's found on the desk of the same room.
All right, Paige. I trust you'll keep these M-Discs safe for Jade, and know when the time is right to tell her about us. To show her these drawings I made, so she can see her pirate family as I see them. You're much more reliable than a certain chimp we know, eh? Reckless, he is, but that's Knox for you. Lost count how many times we found him passed out in the crow's nest. Wouldn't really have it any other way, though. He always has your back. Getting us out of jams is, well, as much as he gets us into them. And no one made Jade laugh more than him, for all the stunts those two pulled. Me and Jade was just playing around, Dax, he'd say. Only he could get away with calling me Dax. I'm sure we'll never know the half of their monkey business. Comes down to it, though. Knox was the heart of the Garda. A rebel to a fault. When you tell Jade about him, tell her about all the fun times they had. Tell her about how he showed her to see the good in people. All kinds of people. And Paige, remind her, despite what Knox says, that that rusty blade he gave her for her birthday is not to be used as an eating utensil.
Okay, about Yaashan is found in the locked locker in the Black Isle secondary shaft, which you unlock by getting the key off of the tiny goggles, which is in the Beluga hidden room locker.
Remember the first time Jade put on that pair of goggles Yaashan gave her, Paige? They were too strong for her poor little eyes, so she kept bumping into things and mistaking you for Knox. I was so thankful for Yaashan, my first mate, for keeping the Garda shipshape and keeping you lot in check. We didn't always see eye to eye and sometimes butted heads. She questioned my decisions and was never afraid to speak her mind. But her loyalty was stronger than titanium. A pirate warrior never backing down. Jade was so scared of Yaashan at first, but she quickly saw past the hard shell. She came to admire her and look up to her. For her confidence, her convictions, her devotion to us, her family. Tell Jade how she pushed herself to be just as strong. How her grit and determination come from her. How Yaashan would make her practice her combat skills over and over till there was no weapon she couldn't master. Jade had the bruises to prove it too. And you and me both worried, but we had no reason to. Jade should remember that. Yaashan gave her strength and the will to fight when there's no other choice. And Paige, you know as well as I, we did all we could to keep Jade away from that fight.
Okay, about Uma is disc 17. You can get this from the locked locker upstairs in the Yakuta bar. And the key to that locked locker is on the dream catcher that's found in the Black Isle room locked locker.
Out of all of us, my dear Paige, you know Uma the best. I know how much she means to you, and I hope that without her there as your anchor, you're doing okay. Not only was she Jade's Auntie Uma to your Uncle Paige, but she was the whole Garda's guiding light. I remember the sheer panic the crew fell into every time something unusual happened with Jade. How such a curious and wonderful creature Jade was to us. Her body growing up and out in all directions. I swear, every day was an adventure and a crisis. We were lucky to have Uma with us. Not only for Jade's many, many, many questions, but also for showing her a path to tranquility with those graceful motions of meditation. Uma helped us to not only understand Jade, but to help Jade understand her true self. And to love it all. Though it pains me to think back to Uma's struggle with her personal demons, those bad spirits of the past, as she called them, her gift to Jade brings me comfort and hope. That beautiful interconnected web, that catcher of dreams. Jade inherits from her Auntie Uma a way to fight our worst nature when it rises up, and to chase away those deformed demons lurking in the shadows. I'm sure her gift must be a precious reminder of your cherished Uma, and a talisman for Jade's future, far from the darkness. Uma was a teacher to us all, a protector, and a friend. Paige, please be that for Jade.
Okay, about Callum is disc 18. It's found in the locked locker at the end of the volcano area. The key to that locker can be found on the chest knight that is found in the upstairs locked locker in the Yakuta bar.
I could always tell Callum had a special place in Jade's heart. And I was always so amazed, maybe even jealous, of his patience with her. He was one of the few who never treated her like a helpless thing, but as an equal. I remember them sitting for hours on end, locked in a game of chess, staring each other down with such quiet intensity, each one strategizing. Jade would always favor the night, Callum's birthday gift to her, making it easy for him to anticipate her next move. Wasn't it Primera Paige who told Callum to be an indulgent dad and let Jade win on occasion? It took everything in his power to let Jade take his king, but seeing her wide grin as she screamed, "Checkmate!" made it all worth it for him. Callum was a strict mentor, but strangely enough, it was Primera, an AI of all things, who taught him how to be a father figure to Jade. as I am her mother. Though I don't want Jade to get the wrong idea, look, make sure you tell her, Paige, nothing happened between us. I'm just glad their bonding happened over chess and not Callum's preferred games of chance. We both know what that would have led to. One time, betting the Garda is certainly enough. But if not for his engineering skills, I would have been a captain without a ship. It was thanks to Callum and the Mamogo clan that our crew had a ship, a place to call home. And it was thanks to him that you and Jade had the Beluga to fly to freedom. I know, when she holds that night, Jade thinks of Callum, of the chess matches, the lessons, and the tough love.